Oh my god. I either always sneeze or burp before these. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I have like some sort of sonic sense where he sneezes before he senses danger. I don't know, whatever. Gogeta. Wow. Tonson, you did your shit, twin. You went crazy. I don't know how else to say it other than that, because wow, this figure is great. There are very few things I can't complain about, but they do kind of add up once you put them all together. But overall, this is one of the best figures I have in my collection. I will say that. This is one of the best figures I have in my collection. Now, just looking at it, man, this guy has just been so much fun to have and just play around with, bro. And pairing him up with the OC Toys Vegito just adds to the fun. It has been such a delight. Now, enough of the preamble, bro. Let's just get right into it. Let me tell you the things I like about this figure. The first thing being, the body sculpt is really, really nice. The articulation is amazing. I was on the fence about pre-ordering this one, but once I saw the articulation test come out, I knew I had to. This guy's range is amazing. Now, it's not on par with something like the Diamond line of figures, but it is definitely way better than other contemporaries out there like Demoniacal Fit or Beast Deities. Definitely clears that Beast Deities bowl. The high kicks are really good for a figure that doesn't use soft plastics in the crotch. Yes, unfortunately, I thought it would, but no, the crotch is not a complete soft plastic piece. Yes, it is a little soft plastic, but it is not soft enough for it to be as malleable as it is on a figure like the legendary Super Saiyan Goku, which allows for crazy movement because of the soft crotch. So that is a downside, but it's kind of a new trend. The soft crotch has been a new trend, so it's going to take a while for the third-party companies to hop on it. They're trying, but it's going to take a while. And another great thing about this figure is how many accessories you get. Now, this is a pretty pricey figure. It is upwards to $80 to $90 for this figure, but they make it worth it. 4 head sculpts. Yes, 4 head sculpts. You get the normal Super Gogeta head sculpt, Super Gogeta with the Halo head sculpt, Windswept Super Gogeta head sculpt, and then a base form Gogeta head sculpt, which wasn't even in the movie, so that's just an actual bonus. There's also a wind-blown version of the vest, which is something that I don't even think Tamashii would even think of doing. And of course the cross arms, but it's crossed arms, whatever, who cares? And of course the Soul Punisher. And that's about it for accessories. And I will say my favorite part about these accessories are the hands, because he comes with so many different stylistic hands. It's like, it feels like you could do so much with this figure because of the hand. It has so many possibilities. The problem with Tamashii's hand selection is that they're fine, but they're not enough, you know? At most, we'll get 5 different sets of hands, which is okay, right? But for really unique poses, I feel like we need more style posed hands. Hands that aren't really doing any specific action, more so just hanging in the air looking stylistic. And this Gogeta fits that need. And also, looking at this figure, I mentioned this comes with 4 head sculpts. They're all pretty nice. They're all really nice. I definitely like the head sculpt way more than the faces. That I will say. The faces are okay, but the head sculpt itself is really nice looking. Definitely better than whatever the fuck Demoniacal Fit got going on for their head sculpt. Now, I will say, Tamashii did announce their Super Gogeta for the NYCC exclusive. So I really wonder how that head would look on this body. I think that would look really good. And since this is a third-party figure, to avoid copyright, this is not actually shipped as Super Gogeta Muay Fighter. Bro looks like Sagat from Street Fighter. So when he comes with the box, you're gonna have to actually put on the vest yourself, which isn't hard at all. It was actually really easy to swap out the arms and then just slide on the vest. It was way easier than I thought it would be. Especially if you know Thompson's past releases, to where straight out the box, the figure's almost impossible to move. But for this one, it's pretty good. It's pretty decent. Thompson is definitely improving in that regard. And now, of course, there's gonna be some negatives. There's gonna be some cons. And trust me, I really like to complain. The worst thing of all about this figure are the hands. I know. I just said the hands are the best part. How is it also the worst part? It's the worst part because with so many options, it is so hard to swap the hands reliably. The hands are so tight on the peg that it is actually easier to pull out the wrist peg, which should not happen at all. That wrist peg should never leave its spot, but it does because the hands are so tight on the peg. The peg holes for the hands are too small, so it's hard to get them on, and they also fit too snug when you actually do manage to get them on. So that has been the worst part, because like I said, I really do enjoy the hand options they give you, but it's so hard to take advantage of them when this shit doesn't work. Now, like I said earlier, the head sculpt and the faces, definitely the faces, they aren't perfect. This smiling face is kind of bad. I don't know, I don't like it. It doesn't even look like the smiling face from the movie. If you look at the smiling face from the movie, Gogeta's mouth is open and it feels like his eyebrows aren't that downturned as they are on the figure. And speaking of the accessories yet again, the Soul Punisher effect is really bad. It's really bad. Trust me, Demoniacal Fit hasn't done any better, and Tamashii hasn't shown off theirs yet at the time of this recording, so I wonder how their Soul Punisher effect is gonna look. This one was not the greatest either. This one's not the greatest. Now, one thing I will give Demoniacal Fit's Gogeta is that the way they did it is that their Soul Punisher actually stays in the air. For Tonson's Soul Punisher, it is glued to the hand. Not literally glued, but it is a hand peg just straight up on the hand. He's not holding it up in the air. He's like grabbing it, which is not right. It's not right. It's not how it works. It's not how the Soul Punisher works. He like summons it like a key ball in the air, and it never makes direct contact with his hand. At least if I'm remembering correctly.
You remember correctly, twin. The only time he touches it is when it's completely in his fist, so you never see it. Also, follow the IG, follow my IG, plug, follow ZanGaming26.
And one last issue I have to bring attention to is the longevity of this figure. Shout out to Burst ZG for these pictures, but it seems like the vest piece has the same issue that the Boo Tanks kit had, to where there's crazy tearing within the vest, which is not good, especially not for longevity. It's not good. Which is weird because the Tonson Trunks jacket doesn't have that issue. So it's weird that it comes back. I guess reuse the same material. And also I've observed on the back of my copy, there's actually this weird mark on the back of it, which looks really strange. Granted, won't be looking at the back of the figure too much, but it's still not good to have that there. Why is that there? It's not there on my windswept version. So I don't know. But anyway, when you are stretching out this thing and using the articulation on the vest, it's gonna tear, and even if you're not stretching it out, it's probably gonna tear over time. So watch out for that, and that might turn a few of you off. That's basically all my thoughts. This is just the quick thoughts on the Tonson Gogeta. So far, I'm having a lot of fun with it. Like I said, these are first impressions, so later down the road, my opinion could change really drastically, but I hope not, because right now I'm really enjoying this figure. I've actually enjoyed this figure so much that I ordered the Dragon Ball Super version, the Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, which I also think looks really nice. So that'll be nice to have in hand. Hopefully my QC is good on that one, and it won't be a pain in the ass to swap the hands, because like I said, it's probably my favorite part of this figure, so it sucks that it's not really working out for me. Will I recommend this figure? Yeah, I'll say so. At least for now, at this current time frame, I will recommend it. But like I said, the accessories make up for the price. So yeah, for a figure that's built from the ground up basically, not even first party, this is a pretty damn good fig.